But on to another tough story. Every parent's worst nightmare. Hundreds of teenage students have gathered to mourn the loss of a friend after 16-year-old Daani Sanders took her own life on Tuesday night. It's been suggested bullying and Facebook may have played a role in this tragic turn of events. To find out what teenagers and what parents can do to try and avoid these situations, Dannielle Miller joins me. Good morning, Dannielle.
Good morning.
Absolutely tragic, the death of this young girl by suicide. It is linked to bullying. Now, it's not the first time we've heard of sad situations. What are the pressures kids are under these days?
They are under huge pressures. Life is certainly more complicated than it was when we were teens. Certainly being a teenager has always been a tumultuous time. But today, particularly because of technology, there isn't a reprieve from those pressures and that compare and despair game that may be played at school. Teenagers tend to be online 24/7, so they may well go home and continue those conversations and, in fact, the arguments well into the night via forums like Facebook. And so I think it's really timely to sort of step back and have a look at what our teenagers are doing online and to really monitor how safe they might be.
But again, to emphasise, you know, how tough it can be. I mean, bullying, human nature hasn't changed. Bullying has been around for a very long time. But I guess in days gone past, bullying was only ever witnessed by those around. So you and a friend, or you and several friends who were bullying you, it was only witnessed by half a dozen people or somebody they told. Now, on Facebook, it is for the world to see.
Absolutely.
So you're publicly humiliated and bullied on some occasions.
Absolutely. I mean, as a teacher in high school, if I saw a student being bullied, you know, you can pull those students aside and you can sort that out. If you see notes that are unkind, you can rip them up, you can rub them off walls.
And it was dealt with a lot more quickly.
It was. You can't do that once things reach cyberspace. And unfortunately for this generation of young people, that is how they interact, that is how they communicate, and they find it really difficult to switch that off. And so those conversations and those dialogues can, as I said, continue well into the night. And the words and the impact of those words are there, you know, for them to see.
But everybody who posts something on Facebook is identifiable, correct?
Yeah, unfortunately young people don't always seem to realise that and the implications of that.
So everybody can be tracked. If you're bullying somebody, being particularly nasty, everybody knows it's you.
Not necessarily, depending on the format that you're using. If you're using formats, for example, like FormSpring, then that's not necessarily the case. That can be anonymous. So that's a particularly dangerous site. But what I think we need to do as parents is just be really wary and look at our own children and look at what other signs of change in them that might indicate something like bullying. Because bullying isn't just physical. It can be verbal, it can be psychological, it can be spreading of rumours. So patterns of behaviour that have changed, things like sleep, appetite, looking for changes in personality, refusing to go to school, all of those are indicators that there could be problems.
A lot of those problems parents will just put down to the fact that they're teenagers, you know, stuff's going on. And then, of course, you do have very busy parents, and are you noticing these signs? So it's a real wake-up call. And what if you are the parent of someone who is a bullier?
Yeah, that's again, and the thing that really troubles me...
This is a two-way street here.
It is. The thing that troubles me is that so many parents don't even understand the social networking platforms that our children are using. We did a mothers panel here yesterday, and, you know, 50% of parents say that they would check on their child on Facebook if they knew how. Well, we all should know how. If your child's using social networking, you need to be up to date with what's happening on there so you can monitor that. If your child doesn't want you to be their Facebook friend, they should at least have an adult who's acting as a mentor who can guide them. And again, if you are concerned about your child, you're noticing changes in behaviour, act. Don't be afraid to ask the question, are you okay? Are you feeling good about yourself? There is this urban myth almost that if we talk about suicide, then that might spur something to happen. That's not true. The research clearly shows that if we have concerns, we need to address those concerns and get the dialogue opening up.
And if it is tough talking to parents, the kids line is there, and parents can get help and try and understand what's going on.
Absolutely.
We did put up the kids helpline there. A tough situation, but Danny, thank you Dannielle, thank you very much for giving us your input.
As a parent of, you know, daughters the same age, I gave lots of extra cuddles and kisses last night. Just devastating.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.